Hello, we're back. And of course, it was a trap, naturally.
Duh.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cool. So what is so Jay, you're playing Metali.
Yes.
Upon hearing this, what are your orders?
I'm thinking it might be flashback time.
Awesome. What do we flashback to?
Is it possible to have, if they're flanking us, is it possible for us to have used Rec to kind of make a way out that we were going to use once we got in here?
Make an escape plan?
Right.
Create
Like
an
escape plan.
unexpected escape
Right.
route.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Do these
I'm gonna say
buildings
it
have
costs.
basements?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
Do these buildings have basements?
Some do for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to have like a place that you're gonna try and hide,
I like that.
or do you want to have like a clear path so that you can like book it?
I'd like a clear path so we can book it, but I
Okay.
feel like hiding might be easier.
It's well, that depends.
Yeah, I think we have to get out.
Okay.
So the idea of like collapsing one of these buildings so that like whoever is standing on the ground floor like falls down into a basement, like collapsing the sides of our path.
Booby traps.
Yeah.
Wrecked booby traps. All right, cool.
Yes.
So zero stress flashback. And the reason I say zero stress is because what I'm gauging is how complicated is this plan? And we booby trapped our path out is not unheard of in combat. That makes perfect sense to me. It's the kind of thing that, one of you, the Legion is known for actually.
Okay.
So I think, I think folks are so we'll make a rec roll in the present to see how effective it is. All right.
See how well the booby traps actually work.
Exactly.
Because you
So
never
we'll
know
see-
until you pull them, right?
Right.
Exactly. Right. So like you're running through, you're pulling out the like bars that you have reinforcing like certain sections. You're like, make it, like step where like there isn't like where the ground is safe, but if you step other places, it'll fall through into the basement, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I love Miltali running in heavy armor with Crimson on his back, step, like delicately stepping
Well,
around.
no, it's like football players, right? Like you've got that huge armor, you've got the mass, and like when you land, like dust comes up, and we see like the whole armor like shake. You're like, because there's like mass to you, right? But
Right.
you're
Right.
doing the like left, right. Like
Right.
it's exactly like football where you're avoiding like
Right.
positions and fire.
It's called fitted heavy plate for a reason, right?
Yeah.
You have mobility.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually why it's specifically fitted to you, so that it's like perfectly made for the heavy. Yeah, and so you folks are going to be doing all of this, and we'll be making the rec roll in a second. So let me just establish some fiction. Like, if you will permit me, this is like a war movie, right? And everything that I'm describing is is covered in like fog, like kind of like dust and shades of gray, right? Like there is ash that has fallen like rain, and or like snow, I guess, and has covered like sections of this. Like there's puffs as you folks are like running. There is that grainy film camera, right? And as you're running, you see these like black shapes darting like along the buildings to your left and to your right. And you start seeing more positional flares going up. And so just like you see like another one, like marker pursuit, like, they're going up, and they're definitely at this point, you're starting to suspect that they are using Legion codes. How they're doing that, how they know them, why they're doing that is not 100% clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see these like flashes of like black shapes, and there's like a dozen of them, and that like the camera will pan upwards and see these like cloaked figures basically coming like a swarm, separating and trying to surround. And then you folks like duck through, like there's like buildings that are fallen over, so there's massive rubble, so there's only one corridor, which is where some of your booby traps are. So let's make this rec roll and see how much you slow them down.
Nice. I would definitely like to be part of it, because one of the ways in which I am going to be tripping their thing is I'm going to be using my giant Morning Star that's on a chain to like fling it across to hit things as we're going. Like
Yeah.
that bar that needs to get pulled, chain to grab it.
Awesome.
You know, that wall that needs to get pushed over, smash it through, right?
Yeah,
Because there's a little wreck that's not quite booby trapped. It's just a little wreck,
I love it.
smashing things along the way. So I would love to be part of it. I don't.
Natalia, are you leading this action?
I will lead it.
Amazingly, Ignacio has 2 wreck.
Oh
So-
man, Ignacio, where you been all my
Hell
life?
yeah!
Get in this action, Ignacio.
So maybe you should lead it. I have 1 wreck.
Well, it's
I
more
don't
about
mind leading.
whoever
I
is
still have-
leading is more about
The leader
who's got
is-
the stress.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, I
look
was
at Jen, freaking nailing the system.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say I've got some good stress left. So
I already taken 3, so
I only have 1 stress. I can't wreck. I have nothing in wreck,
Mhm.
but I can lead if we need
If
somebody
you
to
lead,
soak
you
up
have
the
to
stress.
roll 0.
Yeah.
But
Which
you can also
almost
assist us.
guarantees that you're going to be gaining some stress from yourself.
right,
Uh-huh.
I'll lead it. I'm good.
But Jen, if you wanted, you could spend the stress to assist. I mean, there's a million ways that you could help us scouting or other ways to spot us or things like that.
Yeah, I totally can assist. Absolutely.
Is this risky?
Yeah, it's well, no. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's risky. There'll be a consequence, but it's not like you'll take harm.
All right.
All right, we did it. We still did it. Let me find. Oh, I click on the right thing. I hate it when you try and click on roll 20. You just keep doing the wrong thing over and over again. Miltali, did you take the helping die? Is that why you roll 2, or do you have 2 in?
Oh, I took the helping die. Should I not have?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Then that's where the helping die went. So excellent. I will not take it.
Cool. So 4 to 5, you do it,
Hold on.
but
I haven't rolled yet.
oh yeah, of course.
Sorry, Mitali.
You generate a stress.
All right.
So you do it, but so clearly on a 4 to 5, this harms some of them, and I'm going to choose 2 consequences. The first is that it has limited effect. It's only going to catch some of them unawares and or cut them off and or potentially kill some of them. But 2 is that you could end up in a worse position, and I'll explain what that is right now, which is you hear the traps go off behind you. You know, you people are huffing. Crimson is yelling something about cutting to the east because that's where the town resistance still is, and he's screaming something about families and stuff like that. So he's clearly super invested in going and helping these people while you're running for your lives, because that's what rookies do. And that's when you actually see some of those black shapes catching up with you. They're making no sound. They're black as night, and zero noise is coming out of them. And you just hear this noise of something flying through the air at high velocity. And there's this tiny barrel shaped canister that goes whipping past you folks. It doesn't hit anyone, but it lands on the ground, bounces twice, and then it goes click, and you just see whoosh, green mist coming out of it, a lot like the green mist that you saw in sections of this town.
I would like to resist. That's the thing that's going to put us in a worse position.
Yeah, well,
I would like to resist that. And
Oh, cool.
in the
How do you do
coolest
that?
way you can. A big thing comes flying through the air on a string, and another thing comes flying through the air to smash into it and knock it back. I take my
Awesome.
Morning Star and I smash it out of the air.
yeah, give me props for this. That sounds rad.
Hell yes. All right, I'll take a stress
2
for
stress.
that.
Oh, 1 stress. My bad.
One
Yeah.
stress. Yeah.
So that's awesome. That is exactly what happens. And as you hit it, some of that gas comes out, just so that I can.
Yeah, so we still see it on screen. Yeah.
And I think that you do the right, as the Morning Star head with the handle comes back into your grip, and as you look at it, you see the wisps of smoke, and you realize that there's some sort of chemical eating away at the metal. It's fine. It's not going to eat away at your Morning Star.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're establishing we see the smoke as it's
yeah, right. But
right?
it looks the metal smoking in a
Oh yeah.
way.
Oh yeah, it's smoking.
Oh, so cool. So we're
So,
not in a worse position. Does
nope.
anyone resist the lesser effect, or should we roll with that?
which was the lesser effect again?
The lesser effect was that they dodge some of the things. The buildings don't we normally had standard effect, but we only get lesser effect, so we didn't catch as many of them in the booby traps. Strush, to be clear, if we did resist that, we got standard effect, there'd still be some of them that catch up with us, right?
No, I will give you a breather. You will have a
Okay.
second to plan and or reestablish some strategies before
Okay.
you're in trouble again.
I think Ignacio is just mean enough because he's vengeful that he like made a few of those booby tracks extra like nasty. So
Give me an example of one.
so one of the places we undercut, we might have put some spikes in the bottom so that when they
Okay.
fell, it kind of even worse.
Rad. So we see like the heavies are like moving a log into position, like tying some ropes and stuff like that. And Ignacio's just like sharpening sticks and like pulling rebar out of buildings and like,
Throwing some caltrip staff,
all right.
So what am I resisting with? That would be prowess.
Traditionally this would be insight, but I will allow either. The consequence of a physical action is prowess, and these are kind of like saves. So like we were doing a save via a flashback, so technically that can be insight, but prowess is the consequence of wreck. It's up to you. You can roll either. I will allow either. I'm guessing your prowess is probably better. I'm just guessing though.
Nice.
Wow.
Zero stress. Ignacio's spikes catch a couple of people, and a couple of the spikes on the giant log like go through some of the undead, and they can't quite jimmy off in time. And you folks make some space. Cool. So what do you folks do?
Run like hell.
Well,
Yes,
we have a
run like
moment.
hell.
I think we should listen to Crimson Rising, and get him free, so he can run. Like we have a
Okay.
moment, right? So, this pillory can't. I think if you're carrying him,
Mhm.
Voyas sort of just goes up and grabs the things that kind of like the straps that are holding the pillory closed and like
Right.
pulls them off so that the pillory can separate again
Right.
into two pieces and as like, tell us what you know and tell us fast.
So you can help me a little bit with tone here, Sean,
Okay.
if you want to interject.
Yeah.
But Crimson tells you that he scouted out the town, and there are still a couple hundred survivors in a section where they've actually like built barricades between the buildings. And he says that they're letting them live. He knows that they're letting them live because he knows that the undead could have gone through those walls and just like taken them out in like a heartbeat. But he told them, he tells you that the majority of the population there is like women and children, except that most of the women have picked up rifles and are shooting. So it's like a lot of kids that are being protected by like this population went from 1,200 to about 200. So he tells you that they understand what the Legion went through, right? Because remember, the Legion went from like 1,000 to about like 50.
Yeah.
And he says that he can't leave them behind. And he promised them that the Legion would save them. And he tried leading some of the undead away, and that's how he got captured. And he tells you that there's some weird woman in town. And she asked him questions about the fucking hammer. And he told her, to get stuffed. And she didn't seem to particularly care. But she tells you that it's really weird because she's alive and the undead listen to her.
Nice. So the only flair I would add to that is that Crimson would be like, so I totally snuck in there all by myself, no problem.
Yeah, that's okay. He's like, you should have seen me. I scaled a 20-foot wall. They never
Yeah.
spotted me. I talked to the survivors.
Right.
He's like, and then I
only
led
got,
them away.
I only
I
got
would've
caught
got
and
him
I led them
too.
away. Yeah,
But there were 40 of them. No, 100.
100.
exactly. So I love it. Yeah, perfect. You got Crimson down. Yeah, Voyas is just like, how many people do we help? How many times do we keep going back to save another person? But he looks stomatolic because you're in charge. Actually, I think he just asks it to the group. How many people do we help?
I was gonna say, I think
Who does
Indigo
the Legion serve?
is rolling their eyes hard at this point because, like, cool, we came here to get Crimson Rising Tide. We have Crimson Rising Tide. Yeah, like
Matali, is it clear that you're in charge?
Yeah, it is. I think Matali's listening.
I think Crimson says, like, look, if you've brought wrecking kits, I know that there is a place in town that has like blacksmithing gear and stuff. Like there's like a smithy that we can pick up anything extra that we need. We could potentially look for a route underneath their like stronghold and slip them out before any of Blighter's troops realize that they've actually retreated. Like we could save the majority of them without necessarily like huge risk. I know we can do it. Come on, we're the Legion. He's like, come on, Ravens. Like, are you with me?
I mean, that's a good question.
And I just deadpan look at him.
Jen, you're playing.
I'm a ghost owl rookie.
A ghost owl, right? You're not
Yeah.
one of. But Misha,
Correct.
you're playing Ignacio, who is a
Yep.
Raven. So
Yep.
I think you speak for the Ravens here. What are they?
I think the Ravens would be. We came here to save our man. If our man says that this town needs saving, we listen to him because we're better than they are. We don't leave people to die. And so, yeah, let's do this.
I've heard you laugh in the face of death. It sounds like it looks like you've earned your reputation.
Well, we don't grin for nothing.
But Boyas does not grin at all. His face is just like stone cold.
This man with bright blue hair.
Yeah, right, exactly. Very serious,
Like this.
bright blue hair. Yeah.
If we do this, we're overreaching. We
Nothing
came
ventured,
for-
nothing gained.
I'm just saying, if
Sir, could you sleep knowing that you let all those people die?
that's
We got to
what
try.
That's what happens in war. I'm not saying we're not going to try. I'm just saying if we do this, we could fail, and then we fail the whole thing, and we fail the Legion. I want to make sure that everyone understands what we're about to do.
What
Lighter-
would Zora say to you if she heard you talking like this, dude? You have to be back tomorrow morning to fight her. Let's go.
Nice.
Why I fought Zora? Zora's not human. We are human.
Exactly. So we have to be more human than she is. Let's go.
I'm just saying we can do this. I'm just saying that we could fail and we could die, and that wasn't the mission.
Failing and dying is always
Dying is
fun.
never the mission.
And it's
What are
always a
your
possibility.
orders, Commander?
Is everybody in?
I'm not, but I mean, I'm gonna follow orders.
Voice pulls out his lenses and pulls out the lenses and is looking at the path that Crimson was talking about. Does it seem like it's relatively like we could get to the blacksmith that he pointed out? What's the
Yeah, you could. You clock some stuff. You check it against your notes / maps.
Right.
Yeah, you probably could. There's a reasonable route. You'd have to make some rolls. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, I don't want to make any wrong.
Can we
Come
just
on
do
now.
it? I don't roll.
We're all friends here. All right, Matali's in. We'll do it.
Awesome.
go?
How do you folks plan on getting to the blacksmiths? Just give me some actions that make sense. You just escape by using wreck. I get this group is clever and does all sorts of weird stuff. So I'm curious. Are you trying to book it? Are you sneaking there? What's the plan here?
I think we got to sneak it there.
Okay. So this sounds like a group scout.
Right.
Okay. I think that with the lenses and
Two
everything
heavies.
else. Huh?
On heavy
know.
load.
Heavy.
But
No,
fit
I
it
feel
heavy.
like if we book it, I don't.
I
we can't book
can-
it either.
I can go scout, you guys.
Right.
I am a Panyard traveler. I have 2 dots in scout. it probably would be a good idea to recon on this before
Right.
marching two heavies through this clearly trapped town.
I concur.
Fine, you got a point.
We may be asking for more trouble by saying we're first going to scout out the map, and then but I mean, it sounds like a setup action where you're going to scout
Yeah.
to make the maneuver safer.
Yep. Sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay, so
This is a risky scout.
a risky scout.
That's
Great.
all. Just risky.
Yeah, I'm gonna assist with
Okay.
my by, one thing voice. He may not be like super skilled with the flare guns, but he can whistle like a son of a, and so I'm gonna be back a little ways with my lenses and whistling whenever I see anything.
Okay,
Whenever I see, like when it looks like you're getting hot.
gotcha. And so that's one bonus die.
Yeah, one bonus.
Cool.
I'm spending a stress, and you get a bonus die.
I got a 4. And thank you for that bonus die.
Yeah.
So here's the good news. You spot like you spot like the baddies before they spot you necessarily. You see the route and you know that you've scouted out the route and the rest of your unit notes it, so you've given them the bonus. However, you're ahead of them and alone, and you know that there are baddies nearby, right? Like you see like there's this like moment where you're just like, you do the like hustle, and you put your back to the wall, and then you look around it and you see this black cloaked thing just like crouched on like a broken piece of masonry where there used to be like a wall, and its cloak is like moving in this wind, but there is no sound. Like you'd expect to hear like a
Yeah.
but like there's nothing. It's just moving, and it sits there with like tiny red points on one shoulder of its armor, and it's wearing it looks like a plague doctor mask.
Yeah.
It's got like a leather face mask and like a hat, and it's just standing there. And actually the armor looks somewhat familiar to you because it actually looks like Legion armor. But it's standing there like on the wall, just like watching this area. So you know that if you either take out that person or you mislead them, like you can make a roll to like run a particular direction and like pull them away, the path will be clear.
Gotcha.
And at that point,
Otherwise,
they
the
don't
path-
have to sneak. They can just maneuver more safely.
Sure.
But otherwise, the path is clear anyway. But she's cut off. But Ignacio's cut off. I guess I'm asking: is the consequence that he's trapped by this creature, or is the consequence that it's not quite done? Like it's limited.
I think I'm good with the second. I feel like it's not quite done, right? Like there's this thing watching. You've identified the threat. If you take out the threat, then the path will be safe.
Okay.
Can I do a resist on that consequence?
You would have to explain to me how you resist there being an undead watching this area.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's any way around it. I mean, like,
Does it have to be Ignacio that takes out this baddie?
I'm playing Indigo.
Or Indigo? I'm sorry.
Ignacio, she's Indigo.
Yes. Can it be?
That's not
Can the rest of us help out from a signal?
You can theoretically protect. So you can protect somebody of the consequences of a roll, but you'd have to explain how the threat falls on you, and then you mitigate it.
Oh, I don't mean protect. I just mean, can we run in there and stab this thing? You're like saying, if you
yeah,
kill this
Ignacio
thing-
could give some signals, and someone could take a shot or something. Yeah, all of that's possible.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't. Nothing is particularly calling me out to try to resist. So,
how's your shoot, Indigo?
I have a shoot,
Okay.
and I've only marked 2 stress, so I could push myself.
You could try and speak up on this thing and curse stab it. That could be a scout roll.
I mean, I like that idea a lot, especially. Yeah, let's just do that.
Awesome. So this is just a risky scout roll. The risk being obviously that you're spotted and or may get into combat with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Voice looks very apprehensive because presumably we can see you, right? Like we're watching you as you're moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Voice-
So I am gonna push myself for a bonus die here
awesome.
because that seems helpful.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
I super fail.
Wow.
Uh,
That is the
Super
worst.
fail.
Wow.
so actually, I think you actually. I'm gonna give you 2 consequences. I think that you absolutely are going to sneak up on this thing,
Mhm.
right? Because you're totally stealthing around. You're Panyar. You're a traveler. You got your shit down, and you come up like behind like where it's supposed to be, and there's this moment where you like whirl around the edge to kill it,
Mhm.
and it's just not where it used to be. Like it's just gone. It's like it ghosted. And so you for a split second you're just like what the and then you whirl around and it's like inches from your face, and that's when you hear the as the flare goes off. And
Can I resist one of those
oh yeah, absolutely.
or either of them?
I mean,
I
You just have to do
want.
how.
Yeah, I want. I actually thematically think it's really cool that it's not there when I expect it to be. I think that's awesome. I love seeing that on screen. I want to do the traditional rookie thing where I turn around real fast, it's right behind me, and I just throw myself on it to prevent it from shooting that flare off.
Yeah, give me an insight resist here.
Okay, so my insight resist is terrible, but I am shrewd, and also I have the devil's own luck.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So-
So that's plus 2d.
This is
Right.
plus 2d.
Your insight
so-
resist has to be at least 1 because you rolled scout. So
Right.
all right. That's 3 dice resist. Oh, look at that. 2 stress.
Cool. Okay,
So
so I
it
am
costs you 2 stress, and you just say no. No, that doesn't happen.
I'm fully stressed now.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
cool.
didn't
So
go
you're like
over.
at the edge of dying here because rookies only have 1 trauma. So like
Right.
when you take your last trauma, you die. So you leap at this with your full strength. So which means that if you had rolled 2 3s, you'd be dead now. But
No
you
pressure.
still would have stopped it from firing. That's the important thing about resistances. So you land on it, and the flare goes off, but it like hits a wall. And before the smoke goes up to mark where it is, it like burns through the like floor and drops down somewhere. So this room is going to be filled with smoke, but like it doesn't actually give you folks away. And you're struggling and like fighting with this thing, and you like knock its mask off. I'm just doing a cool fictional thing, and
Mhm.
then you're going to be at a desperate skirmish here in a
I
second.
love it. Yeah.
And I have to ask, so you used to be you're a ghost owl?
Yeah.
Yeah, who was your squad leader at Mark Fields?
Who was my squad? This is one of the ones that died, right?
Yeah, they died like weeks ago. Like this is not the brandest newest news. Or if one of the ghost owls died recently, you could totally use them too. That's fine. Could have been a
Yeah,
squad
I
mate.
think we
Yeah, go
just
with that.
lost ghost owls, right?
We did. We have ghost owls in the roster.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we recorded who came from what. I know the last 3, Harish, Verdant, and Natano were all Silver Lion. We're all
Shattered
Okay.
Lions.
Shattered Lions.
So they were Shattered Lines. So it was
Oh, Tyria, Sylvana, and Fyodor. Yeah, that one.
Ilea.
Yeah, Fyodor.
Well, we lost 3 of them.
we lost 3 of them. So it had to be Silver Shifting Winds, Neen Vishkorbu, or Alexnev Carry.
So choose one.
Neen Vishukorbu.
Awesome. And how did you feel about Neem, your ex squad mate?
I was gonna say this is really funny because the lore keeper's dead ex name is also Neen, but it's a different one.
It's a
I
different
promise to the viewers at home, I did not plan this in any way. Please continue.
How did I think that
Actually, you know what? No, F it. We're doing this. It is the Lore Keeper's dead ex. Do you know them?
The lore keeper's dead ex. Yeah, because they died spectacularly at Edinburgh Fields.
Yeah, they sacrificed themselves.
They sacrificed themselves.
Right.
They threw themselves onto like a gut sack or something. So yeah, so I think that Indigo.
Yeah, they look horrifically burned, but as if the flesh has been stitched back together.
That's awful. And I want to stab them while crying, please.
Also,
Nice,
on their
yeah.
shoulder is like five crimson owls, right? They definitely have a mark that looks like it's based on the Legion logo. So yeah. Anyway, we'll deal with you in a second. The rest of you, your scout disappeared, gave a signal like "go ahead," and then ran off. Like, what are you folks doing?
Moving out.
Awesome. hustle.
Yeah, hustle.
Do you folks want to give me a controlled maneuver? Not risky anymore.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you on? Just move?
You said maneuver, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to lead it?
I can do it.
I wanna hold on. Sorry, I want to slow down just a second. So, as we had described it in at least in the beginning, Voyus was assisting with looking through lenses and saying what's going on. Then Indigo disappeared. Did Voyus see as following them? Did Voyus see the creature?
Yeah. Voice sees. No, actually, because yeah, actually, that's fine. Voice spotted the creature when Indigo like indicated like, I see one. Like one infantry over there, right? So like, Voice can glance there and spot the creature, but by the time you like report to everyone, look back, it's gone. So looks clear.
Yeah, I guess my question is there a rationale for Voyus to go help Indigo? But it sounds, besides the fact that we haven't seen Indigo reappear, it sounds like that is a no. Yeah.
What are you folks doing? You moving or not?
I think we're moving.
All right. Who's leading?
I can do it.
All right,
Awesome.
Billy. We're doing a group control maneuver.
Yeah.
All right.
Standard.
Yeah.
All right. We're there.
That's
Sorry.
one stress. Hey,
Mm.
Jay brings it home.
Yep.
So Vitali, Voice is about to give your position away when you somehow save the day. What does that look like?
I think maybe I'm pulling up the rear, and I put my hands on Voyus to kind of course correct as we're moving along.
I don't see Indigo.
Actually, I think maybe it's his morning star, right? And maybe it's about to collide against the wall, maybe, or
Yeah.
a piece of debris and make a bunch of noise. And I kind of,
You catch it?
catch it and move him off to the side to keep that from happening.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's clearly distracted because he's like, I don't see our scout. And like, there's a pause. He pauses. Like, I genuinely think like he's thrown off by this, but then keeps going on.
Right.
Awesome. So the forge is obviously turned off. A rivulet of that water is channeled through it. Somebody actually bothered to hang up all of their tools before leaving this place. What do you folks want to grab? There's like metal. You can get like iron bars if you want to get like a battering ram style thing. Like what do you folks look for?
Well, Crimson described that we could go underground to get
Right.
to the people.
Yeah, what he talks about is basically there's like several buildings that have basements that are connected to the area that's fortified. So if
Yeah.
you don't go into the basements and break through the walls like repeatedly, you wouldn't understand that there is actually an underground path,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so like that would be the easiest way to get the people out, right? Because they wouldn't be above ground where they could be seen and murdered.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's anything we can find that will
Right.
sledgehammer, like big hammers, anything we can find that will help us tear through walls underground.
Right.
and maybe, you know, like workbenches that we can use to prop, like you take a workbench, you pop it on its side, and then that could be used to prop up you know, you put a hole in something, and let's say that hole is going to collapse. You shove the workbench in as like a support beam or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Do
that's,
folks grab anything else? Because there's like weapons and you know that kind of stuff
Yeah.
there too. I'm just asking, like, if you like do anything, like if anybody wants to grab anything specific, or if you just want to flash back to having grabbed it.
I think grabbing weapons makes sense because when we get to these people, they probably won't have them, and putting weapons in their hands is smart.
Ending them out. Yeah.
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 Cool. Does anybody want to have? Do you look for anything else? Do you search the place? Like, do you want to throw some like a scout roll to see if you find anything fancy? Like, it's up to you folks. Or is this more like business like you grab what you need, you're like show each other like the thing, like grab this, yes, okay, and then like start packing. Like, what does this look like? Like, are you taking a leisurely approach? Are you like searching the place? Are you just grabbing what you need and leaving? Like, what's the attitude here?
I think we're grabbing what we need for the job. And again, I like grabbing weapons because we know we're going to meet people, right? So we're going to try to arm those folks. I like that idea.
Oh, okay. That's rad. Mattel, thinking ahead. Really cool. Awesome. So you grab a couple of things and so on and so forth. Other two of you, is this also the plan? Just like load up and move out, or?
Yeah, I don't see, if anything, if there's any part of voice that isn't just grabbing the obvious things to use, any spare time you'd have, it's looking outside waiting for Indigo to return.
Cool. So let's find out what's going on there.
Yeah.
Indigo, I believe you're in a desperate skirmish now.
Yep. With no stress to spend.
Oh my.
Yep.
That is right.
Yeah.
Yep. You got a devil's bargain for me?
Good call.
Not a good one.
It's fine.
I think the easiest devil bargain that I can think of is like, regardless of what happens, you know, like your position can get given away. So like at this point, they've grabbed some stuff. They might be able to get away, but like there'll be some sort of like indicator. There'll be reinforcements coming here. You might have to
Yeah.
escape them again.
Right.
Because like the easiest way to say this is you would have to shoot it, and shooting it is a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, I also want to throw out that you always choose your action, right? Like you're on top of this thing, and you can say, I want to try and skirmish it. You could also say, I yell for help, right? And I try and delay long enough. I try to get away from it long enough for people to come or something like that. Right?
I
Like,
think
it doesn't
that's
have to be that
right.
kill it.
I think that's the smart move, but I don't think that's what I do. Because I didn't want to be on this mission. I didn't think it was a good idea in the first place. I didn't think saving the townspeople was going to be a good idea. And, you know, now I've run into a ninja who turns out to be, you know, somebody who I cared about, who clearly has also now murdered some of my friends and is actively trying to murder me. So I don't think I think, hey, call for help. I think I'm stabbing and crying. Yes, that's what I'm doing. It's really it's more a question of if I do it with shoot or if I do it with skirmish.
Actually, it could be skirmish either way, because guns at point blank range are skirmish effectively.
Okay.
So it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, like but I have one dot in either, so like it does not matter.
Right.
It's just fiction.
So do you want the devil's bargain or no?
I'm gonna go with no
Okay.
because
Okay.
yeah.
Can we hear what the devil's bargain would have been?
I mean, the devil's bargain is just you're gonna have to use your gun, so it's gonna give away your position because you're gonna shoot.
Yeah.
Right, and we're already inside a pretty bad trap.
Right.
So like I don't wanna...
It's tricky though, because if you do not roll a 6, you will probably die.
Mhm.
So good luck.
Yeah.
I genuinely hope that Indigo survives.
Because Ricky-
I love the I told you this was a bad idea. Ricky.
Right.
I can fix her. I have a repair kit.
Rookies are not robots, Jay.
Indigo is carrying a medic kit.
It's true.
But not that's not going to do a ton of good if you're dead.
That's right. No, that's fair.
I'm going to take the devil's bargain just because I don't actually think that I would think enough ahead to avoid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, all right, skirmish. This is desperate. So desperate. Standard with 1 bonus die. I fail. Bye.
Well,
you take level 3 harm.
Yep.
I think it just puts its claws right through like your chest cavity, and you're bleeding, but still alive. So all I'm just gonna say is like slice straight. So like it has this like weird glove on that has like knives on it, kind of like Edward Scissorhands style, or like I guess Freddy Krueger maybe. But yeah, it just like you like try to level your gun, it like knocks it out of the way, and then it just like sinks its hand into your chest cavity, and then it walks back over to where that flare gun is. And yeah, you're on the ground unless you push or somebody helps you. You can't move. You're bleeding, and you just watch as like very calmly this thing like puts its mask back on, and then you watch it click like 3 times. It puts the thing in, and then it fires send the heavy.
Awesome.
you're not dead.
No,
Not yet.
no. So all of you, hands filled with benches and rebar and weapons, see the black flare go up right above your position, which is usually the Legion. The fighting is heavy here. Send the heavy, right? Like it's the like line reinforcement command. What do you folks want to do?
We got a boogie. We got to move.
This is what I said before.
Awesome. So that's gonna happen here in a second. But before we do all of this, Jen, you have level 3 harm, but I wanted to ask, do you have armor?
That's a great question. I don't actually think that I have any armor.
I think you have naive hope.
I do have naive hope, but that doesn't help.
Nope. Yeah, so all of you see the black flare go up from like 20 feet away from that building.
Jen, there's a really good chance that this would end your character, but you would have 4 dice to resist if you wanted to try and resist. If you roll anything less than a 6, you trauma out.
Right.
But you could reduce it with resistance. I
Um,
don't think that's
yeah, I mean, if it's
You're
if
dead
it's-
anyway otherwise.
Yeah, if it's a prowess resist, I'm rolling
it
4
is.
dice. So
Yeah, go for it.
yeah, let's do that.
This is a Hail Mary.
Nope.
So close. So here's the good news. The resist works regardless of your stress out. So the trauma will kill you. But the resistance holds, which means that you can take 1 final action if you'd like.
Can I kill that ninja?
That's right.
Yeah, you can do a shoot. You can like this thing is like click 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 click, boom, and you can just be like bleeding out of your chest cavity, trying to hold it in, and like reaching for that gun, and just being like, boom.
Yep.
So yeah, you want to give me a same dice roll, just like a desperate skirmish. I'll give you the same devil's bargain, so you can roll 2 dice if you like.
I got a 5.
well, you do it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
consequences be damned.
yeah, you do it. So you
There
shoot
are no
that thing.
consequences because I'm dead.
The consequence is you die, right? But like, I think there's like a moment where the black shot goes through the thing, and for a split second, its eyes change, and it tries saying something, which fans of the show watching our episodes may eventually argue about, but probably means something like "I'm sorry," and then it just burns up in that green ethereal flame that Blackshot usually leaves in its wake. Yeah, so black flare up, indigo gone. What are you folks doing?
We're getting the peeps, right?
That's right. We're getting
Get
the
the
peeps.
peeps.
We're moving.
Right.
We got a job to finish.
Awesome. So yeah, you folks go booking. How are you avoiding the black? How are you avoiding getting in a trap? What's the plan here? Is it speed?
I think it's speed.
Yeah, I think it's speed too.
I mean, they're
Group
not going to
maneuver?
send something underground. They're going to send something to the spot where the flare was fired, and we're going underground, right? Like we're.
Well, you have to get into position. The blacksmith
Oh.
is not too far from where
Got
these
it.
guys are, but I mean, where is that place to go underground? Would you like a scout roll? Shall we roll some fortune dice? Is it close?
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's make a fortune roll to see, or if
I'm
we
gonna give
want
it 2 dice. It's not that close. Also, Jen, you should totally make another character.
Okay.
You should grab somebody that's on the mission, so you're
I was
good to
gonna
go here.
say,
There's 2
unless
soldiers
you
on
want-
the
I was
mission.
Yeah.
unless you want me to play Crimson Rising Tide.
No, you could also play a soldier. So yeah, you folks hear the blah noise of metal. But it's distant. It's not where you are.
Yeah.
How are you crossing the maneuver? Group maneuver? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think so. I think
Awesome.
that makes sense.
Who's leading?
I will lead it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Let's throw some maneuver dice out there.
What's the position effect?
Risky. Right, like the consequence being that shit's gonna be on you.
Sorry.
1 stress, 2 stress, 3 stress, failure. Rad. So I think
I mean, I think Jen, if you want, you could roll on this as your new
technically
character.
no, because Misha is representing the squad. And usually you just take whoever's highest and they tank
right.
the squad.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
the squad rules.
That was 3 stress.
It's 3 stress, Jay. Yeah, kind of close, right?
No, that's it. I'm full.
Oh,
Full is okay. I mean, full
Full
is
is okay. All
Full
right, yeah, I'm
is
full.
bad when you
Okay.
can't war machine. Well, actually, technically you could. You would just take a trauma, but that's free
Right.
XP. Anyway, you folks actually make it to the buildings, right? And like Crimson's jumping down at you, like bring the smashes in, right? So like, I'm gonna say that the first wall falls, and that's when you hear the clink, 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 as like half a dozen of those little metal barrels start like raining down into the basements.
right.
What would you folks like to do?
I want to seal it behind us.
Oh, how are
I
you
wanna-
doing that?
Wreck. I want to. We've been
problem.
making a hole in the wall. I want to collapse it behind us so that we're gonna have to get another way out.
Awesome. Yeah.
that way
give
it's just
me a
gonna-
wreck.
Bury all of the stuff. What's the
I think it's I think it's just risky because there's gonna be some that's a lot of gas. No, it's desperate. But
That's
it's
right.
not gonna kill everybody. It's mostly just gonna hit you. We'll see.
That's fine. Can anyone give me an assist? Said, I know Matali is not a place to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Yeah.
How
so
do you
I'm-
assist, Misha?
So I see him going to try to collapse this wall so that it shuts behind him. And I just like grab one of the hammers we took from the fort and like whack the other side.
Nice.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. I'm throwing the big morning star up into the ceiling
Oh,
so
yeah.
that it like collapses down. All right. Let's see. Desperate.
Hey, wait, we get to XP if you're really desperate.
Yeah. What? Whoops. Oh,
Five.
I well, it's let's call it 5, but I accidentally clicked skirmish, not wreck. But if you look at the first 2 dice, it's still, if that's okay with you.
You
It should have
can
only
You can just reroll wreck if you want. It's fine.
oh. Are you doing Misha, were you doing
Assisting.
if you assist, you don't roll. You just
Okay.
you just spend a stress and I get a bonus die.
Got it. Never mind. Sure.
Let's try this one more time.
No.
I don't like any of that.
So bad news.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
I get XP.
but you get XP. Bad news. You fail to save everyone in time.
Yeah.
Good news that there is no good news actually. So this is the point where we see how heroes are made. I think like gas vents the chamber. Your lungs immediately liquefy, and everyone's in shit condition. Several of the rookies fall over with their flesh melting, screaming.
Ugh.
The usual.
I would like to spend
Get
Anchor
forward.
as special armor against consequences to a squad I'm defending.
Awesome. So what does that look like?
I think by failing this, what's happened is like I'm just not able to bring enough rubble down from the ceiling. Like I think I smashed the ceiling
You
and
smash some of it, yeah.
debris comes and whatnot, and it doesn't work. And so I think we're standing in the hallway or the passageway that we're in, and I'm standing in the mouth of it, and so it's narrower here, and I just want to
Throw your tower shield at the problem?
Yeah, exactly. I want to like smash it, and basically, I mean, I think it would make sense if I was taking harm in this case. But yeah, I think like I try to bodily block it with a tower shield and smash.
You are, sir. You are taking level 2 harm.
Okay.
Melted flesh.
Right.
Or burnt lungs. Burnt lungs would be the
burnt lungs. I think I'm going to block the majority of that with the tower shield. So I'm
awesome. So
that's
one.
Anchor to
scale up.
To use bulwark to do that to protect.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then I'm going to spend the tower shield to reduce it down to level 1.
Cool. So you take level 1 harm.
Yeah, and it's going to be burnt lungs.
Yep. They're just a little crispy. You're going to be coughing a lot. There might be some red in that cough, but you're going to live.
It's okay. I'm tough.
You are tough.
Ignore level 1 harm.
I mean. This is no problem for us. Yeah,
exactly. I eat chemicals for lunch.
Awesome. So what's the plan? Are you folks like running out of here, or are you just like busting down the last wall? What's the go?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking we're busting on through. We can't go back, so we
awesome. So Matali, are you like working on the wall forward while like this guy is trying to save the back line?
That is correct.
Awesome. So yeah, give me a rickroll.
Oof. Can we talk about this?
Yeah, we can talk about this. Absolutely.
We can talk about it.
Question, Jen, who are you playing?
I picked up Flavia because I like playing her. Yep.
This is the one that made the orange glow, right? Or am I thinking of a different squad? No, that's the Silver Stacks. Never mind. Yeah. No, wait, no, it was the Ravens.
Yeah. Exactly. And I was just saying, Flavia has 2 in rec and no stress.
I was just going to say, also, there's a thing on her sheet that says Thunder Goddess, and I don't remember where that came from.
That's because she held the hammer and she smashed it with the hammer.
Oh.
Yes.
That's right, yes.
Yeah,
I put that on there. Thunder Goddess.
She was the one who did not want to give up the hammer.
No, we had to knock her out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I knocked her out.
Yes. Character fidelity is.
Is this risky?
Yeah. I didn't know if Jen wanted to like either lead or assist.
I could do either of those things. I'm totally open.
I think you leading makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Since you have 2 in rec and have a bunch of stress you could take.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Awesome. So yeah, Vitali probably tosses her a hammer from his like a maul from his wrecking kit or something, and the 2 of you are going to town.
Yeah.
Now Matali, I know you're stressed out, so I'm gonna ask Jen's character. Jen, do you want to do this as a group action with Matali?
I mean, is there any reason not to if I lead?
You can. It's just a question of like whether the 1 die from Jay versus the potential 1 stress is going to make a difference for you or not. There's no reason not to. It's just he may give you a stress. So like I don't know if you want to.
I don't mind getting this.
I think group action also makes a lot of sense because it's like multiple people banging on these.
That gives you kind of effectively like a 1 to 2 people is still scale 1, but yeah.
Right.
All right, so let's do this. Jay, you're gonna roll. Jen, you're gonna lead Thunder Goddess, and yeah, let's see some wreck here.
I continue to roll poorly this evening.
Everybody rolls
Okay, so
poorly.
Shay.
So I'm gonna actually say. So usually this means that. Well, no, you don't do it. But I'm gonna say that there is a moment where you folks like punch a hole through the through like a couple more like of these what are they called, basements, and you actually get underneath where those guys are. So you're partway through and haven't 100% like gotten all the way through, and as you folks are getting ready to like sort of like hammer up and try and like punch a hole into the base where it is, and like Crimson's like pointing this out, he's like, 5, I counted 5 buildings, you know, like whatever. You hear this like massive noise above you, like absolute like carnage and destruction kind of noise, like the ground shakes. What do you folks want to do?
So we're theoretically right below all the people, but
Yep.
now some like screams.
Not yet, but depending on your roll, there may be some screams happening here momentarily.
Do we feel it?
Oh yeah,
Do we feel the ground rubble?
oh yeah,
This is the big Kaneko monster, right?
yep,
Yeah.
I mean, what
But
else would
ideally,
we
the people we've come to rescue are above us.
correct.
Right.
Yeah, no, we break on through. Because it sounds like maybe they're about to drop a building on those folks.
Correct.
Or
So
collapse a building.
Jen
on those.
Matali, I'm going to give you the exact same roll if you want, but it's going to be desperate. It drops down to desperate here.
Right.
At this point, can the
Ignacio?
I don't know if Ignacio or the squad would make sense to help in this case. I mean, it's desperate, so group actions can backfire real bad on desperate. But Ignacio is good at rec.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, you want to lead a desperate action?
Sure.
Awesome. Let's do this. Throw some dice.
Yeah, I guess my question is, Bisha, do you want Ignacio to join as well?
Sure. Is there any reason not to?
Potentially
Stress.
more stress for Jen.
Consequences hitting everybody
Yeah,
is really
it's-
what it comes down
but
to.
it's more dice than the pool, and we have been rolling.
Yeah. Awful.
I think we throw. Jen, if you don't mind taking the potential stress risk, I think
No,
we
that's fine.
should all just do it.
Desperate standard?
Yeah.
I rolled a 6.
Good job, Jen.
I didn't.
You generate 1 stress.
Yeah.
Let's see if Jay's dice are kind. Sometimes they roll 6s.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. It's 50-50 shot whether you generate a stress. You do.
Not
So
today.
Two more stress for our poor Marchioness. But you folks like double your efforts. You're like, the people are above us. We gotta go now, right? And so like you folks actually succeed. On a 6, you break through before anybody in their little camp dies. And so like you guys are above, and you realize that what the shaking is that the big driller thing is actually like pounding its way in, right? Like it's like it stopped trying to like break down their barricades because they like put up metal plates as like barricades around, and it's just going right through the buildings. So you folks are coming up as like you see like people like firing from the walls, and you'll see like, you know, some of those canisters getting lobbed in, and like, you know, folks are scattering and not really very well organized here. They're panicking, and you folks don't have a clear exit out, and you're about to get hammered in. But you rolled a 6, so you're not actively getting hammered, and people are not dead immediately. What do you folks want to do?
Yeah.
I was thinking we were bringing them down underneath the ground, and we were going to tunnel
Yeah,
our
except
way
your
out.
back path is wrecked.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Keep going.
But it's
Not so much.
Right. So, or Voice is like I think he covers. He's like coughing. Some of his beard is a little singed, and he's like, or we go through the problem.
Fucking kidding me.
Are you sir, might I point out that thing is very, very large and is spewing chemicals?
Actually,
I've seen
hilariously, the chemicals are not spewed by the thing. They're actually spewed by
These little grenades.
the crows tossing the grenades.
Right.
But yeah, like you're looking at Matali. Matali is looking at you. Voice is just like, we just go through the problem. And that's the point at which like the wall breaks and the thing comes through and you see like that it's got like faces in its shoulders and it's got like metal plates covering the majority of it, including that like conical face that has like little holes in it, and it just like looks at like everyone in this area like, I am here and you're all about to get wrecked.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I will lead a group action to
I would like to point out that I didn't think this mission was a good idea, and now I don't think trying to fight this thing is a good idea.
Nice.
So if you all need me to actually do the "I told you so" dance,
I mean, we'll
will.
see. Okay, here's the thing.
I would like to point out that last session I wanted to go where we'd get the extra 5 people. This might not have happened in the first place, but
All I'm saying is Zimiati always lists all the problems. That way, when they actually encounter the problems, they go, yes, we knew about the problems. So,
So
all right.
Strush, tell me what I got some distance with this Morning Star. I am a seasoned veteran warrior. I've seen all sorts of bad things. Tell me what it looks like if we're facing this thing.
The biggest problem that you have is that somebody got smart, and instead of just making a giant, horrible monstrosity that's going to get peppered with Blackshot, they actually put armor on it like it's a weapon. So it's actually got the equivalent of full plate. That's your problem.
Okay.
You can't just like shred it with Blackshot like you normally could. Now, as Voice Karyevich, you're just like, I am a weapon master. I can turn anything into a weapon, and I have a particular weapon fighting style, right? So like,
Yeah.
you look at this thing and you're just like identifying weak points and everything else. And like the trick is, if you can either rip that armor off, it's going to be easier for everyone. But like this thing is huge.
Right.
Like it's huge. And so like looking at it, you've got 2 heavies. You can actually fight it from opposite ends, but it looks like it moves somewhat quick. It's not like slow like some of its brethren. And it's got that armor, right? So like you just need like 1 clean hit. It's only got 4 limbs and it doesn't have like a lot of that like multi-body structural integrity stuff. Like it seems like they sacrificed that for speed.
Yeah.
And so
I am thinking, and this unfortunately wouldn't kill it, but I'm thinking we just blew a hole in the ground and we're able to climb up fairly nimbly, but it's 14 feet tall and covered in armor, and there's more stuff, and the building is probably still falling down. Maybe.
Oh yeah, it's like raining on it, like bouncing off of that armor. It's like in that smoke, and like when it roars, you see the like we roll
Pretty
the
good.
secondary mission, then we'll call it.
Yeah,
All right, awesome.
I assume
Thank
that's
you.
what we would do.
Appreciate it. I
All right.
respect your time, but sometimes
Folks, are we in audio?
can everyone give us a thumbs up on the audios?
There we
There
go.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry
here.
about that.
All right.
Our remote server went down for a second, and when that happens, audio drops. But we're back. Yay! All right. So yeah, my thought is hook this thing with my Morning Star, and then Matali and I collectively just yank it into the pit and let the building fall down around it. I don't expect that to kill it. I just expect that to bury it so that we can get the hell out.
That's
Right.
amazing.
Right.
Is this a skirmish?
Definitely a skirmish. Yeah,
I-
because I'm planning on like if we have to get close to this thing, we're
I have a question.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already stressed out. What happens if I push?
All of your push powers activate. We resolve the roll, and then you trauma. Something happens that's going to take you out of this scene, but you'll reactivate next scene with full stress and 1 trauma.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm a war machine,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. Okay, awesome.
baby.
well, let's. I mean, I mean, that's a great idea. Let's figure out real quick if it's the two of us doing a group action.
Right.
What's our position and effect on this thing? At start.
Currently, okay, so before you use any powers or activate any abilities, it's desperate limited
Okay.
because it's huge. It's got all the advantage on you. It's 2 people, so it's got scale and it's actually got threat, and it's like
is it threat 3 or threat 4?
it's 3.
It's 3.
So like it's
I can make it threat too.
exactly right. So like once you war machine, you're like F you, you're threat too. All of a sudden the fiction is now changing. Now it's like maybe desperate standard. You blow some anchor to like overload it with scale. All of a sudden it becomes like risky standard, maybe even risky great. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm
If
thinking.
both of you blow anchor, for example, it's probably risky great.
I'm thinking anchor for sure,
Okay.
and so I think we could both do anchor,
Okay.
and we would get scale on it. It would have threat on us, but we'd have scale on it. Or
Okay.
we could do both do anchor, and you could do war machine if you want to get both threat and scale on it. I don't know that war machine's necessary, but it sure is cool. And if you're okay with taking the trauma, then that's pretty rad.
I think so. I think it'll change Metali, right?
Yeah.
And we can see what that looks like when we go back to camp and all that.
Yeah.
good stuff.
It's gonna be fucking awesome, is what that's gonna be.
So we're risky great then if we both spend anchor
Yeah. Are you pushing, Sean?
I can't.
Okay.
If I
You
want
can. You'll trauma. But it's fine. It's fine. Just explain to me what this looks like, right? Because like the 2 of you are just like, what are your orders before you engage, Metali? Are you just like collect the people, use the hole it made, go out that way, and then like just the 2 of you are like, we got this? Or is this like
Right. The 2 heavies have this. Everyone else should be trying to get the hell out.
awesome?
Okay.
So like you give orders to the rookies and the soldiers, is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So I think that this fight, do either of you have any sort of pre-fight rituals? Do you like kiss your weapon, say a prayer, or anything like that, or is this just like grim soldier, like it's on, like just put the helmet down?
I think there's a camaraderie look between the 2 of us.
Yeah, I think Voya sort of rubs his newly dyed beard and says, let's keep practicing the living part of things.
Awesome. So the 2 of you draw your weapons. This thing like lifts its arms up. And what does the rest of the squad do? Like the camera focuses on you for a hot second.
We start hurting the people out. Like we follow
Awesome.
orders.
How are you
we're-
folks planning to do that? Do you use discipline to command them? Are you using like martial to organize them? What's the scenario here? Mind you that your squad is with you, so you've got a little bit of scale. Everyone's like shouting. You know, you're getting this going.
I mean, I was just planning on putting weapons in their hands and shoving them. I don't
Yeah.
have martial or discipline, so
That's okay. You can, for example, roll 1 die for the squad, and Misha can roll 1 die for leading, or roll whatever her action is for leading, and do it that way, or vice versa. I don't know which one of you is in charge. When Metali is busy, who is actually in command of the squad? Like, where does the chain of command go next? Marshall, you answer this question.
I was gonna say Flavia is a soldier, so she's been promoted.
Yep, you've been promoted. I have not.
Okay, so Flavia, do you want to roll for the squad, or do you want to roll for yourself?
What's the role?
You tell me. I as the GM don't actually declare the actions. So if you tell me like I look at the people and I bark orders, like that sounds like a discipline. If you tell me like or a martial, either could work depending on how you're doing it, right? Like you could just like command with force of personality and roll some sway. Whatever you like, you tell me. I don't actually declare this.
Okay. So I think I think I want it to be sway, and I think what I want it to look like in the fiction is Flavia's having a real bad day.
Yep.
And she has a fair amount of blood on her, whether it's other people's blood or her own blood.
Sounds right.
I can see her having gotten like stuck by a rock in the head or something, and there's like a big, gash, but it's not actually that bad of a cut, but a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But Flavia is not squeamish around blood at all, right? She used to be a butcher.
Exactly.
So she is literally shoving weapons into these people's hands, covered in blood, and being like, "You here now?"
I don't care what you're feeling.
Kind of, right? Like,
are you like, "We are the Legion, listen to us"? Like, no, don't look at the big thing. We're going this way.
Yes.
Yeah, look at me, not at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah. Give me a risky standard. Sway.
And is
I did poorly because I've been rolling.
That's okay.
Poorly.
That's okay. Well, mixed. You did a mixed. You actually rolled a 6. You saved that last outing. So like, Misha, did you want to roll a die for the squad?
Sure. You said risky standard?
Oof. So something bad happens, and I'll tell you what it is. I think that you actually like get some people to come with you, right? Like you put some guns in hands and you like get people to stop acting like completely chaotic, but you do not get a concrete motion out of them, right? Like they just stand there with guns looking at you like, now what, right?
No,
like,
yeah.
And the thing is that time is ticking, right? So like right as like you see this pile of civilians, actually some of them are like militia, right? Like, so some of them are like showing up like bleeding, and they're just like, there's more coming across, like coming into the gap. And that's when we rotate the camera at the heavies. So what does the fight with this thing look like, right? Because like, imagine like a giant gorilla, like, so like huge arms, it's got like faces in its shoulders that it's like looking from, it's got that conical face with the blades coming out the back of the like mask it has. And yeah, it's like pounding the ground and like grabbing sections of building and throwing it and like using arms the size of anchors to try and squishify you. What are you folks doing?
Voyas is definitely, spins the giant heavy thing a bunch of times, throws it around and try and catches it under the arm. The idea is to catch it under the armpit, have the ball wrap around and lock, and then just starts yanking it. And this thing is like way bigger than Voyas is, but he digs his feet in to the rubble, and he's just pulling with all his might and just trying to and just trying to pull it down into the center.
Awesome. Matali, what does it look like? What are you doing with this thing, right?
I think Matali's on the other side flanking, and with his hammer, hitting big chunks of rock at its legs, so it doesn't have purchase. It can't stand against being pulled with
awesome
chain wrapped around it. So
I have an ugly question, which is, which one of you is leading the action?
I have a thought. If you lead the action, Jay, it doesn't matter how much stress you take because you're trauming no matter what, right?
That's true.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right.
like, I'll lead it because I have a little stress to take, but then I was like, wait, why?
Right.
We might as well pile it all on you.
Yes.
Throw some dice.
Then I will lead it.
And remember, you're pushing, so you get an extra die for that in addition to War Machine and all the rest. So
risky great.
Nice. I like it.
Let's wreck some face. Oh my god. I mean, I'd say you take a stress, but who the fuck? Like, that doesn't matter. What matters is
let's see Jay's roll. Hey.
All right. Fine, we do it, right? Like, that's
you do it.
It's gonna be very bad. But...
You do it, no problem. Actually, I think both of you are going to take level 1 harm. Because like Jay reduced its threat level. You both have scale on it because you both blew anchor, which means that you would take threat level 2 harm normally, but you take
Right.
level 1 harm because you're outscaling it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that there's this like moment where like its hand comes in for Jay, and it's like this strike that's about to like murder you.
Right.
And you flash back to your fight with Zora, and you actually like do the same maneuver where you like smash it. So like it hits you, but it's not a killing fist, right? Like it's a loose hand that just like
Right.
smacks you. Now, mind you, it's 14 feet tall and covered in metal, so there's mass.
Right.
And I think you're just gonna be battered and bruised. And then yeah, I think that Voya says you like pull it in and like slap it under that building, and you're trying to get your chain out so that your weapon is safe. I think the
Yeah.
building just collapses, and you're going to also take the harm, like just be
Yeah.
bruised.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna take it on the plate. I got all this armor. Might as well
All
use
right,
it.
yeah,
So am I. I will spend armor.
awesome. So Jay, yeah, for the purposes of this trauma, you can clear your stress bar, but you're knocked out, right? Like it punches you and you fly back and you bounce and you're just unconscious for like a couple minutes, and you can come back in the next scene as long as your team
Right.
recovers you, which I assume Voice will do.
I was gonna say you're gonna wake up being fireman carried, just like you did in Crimson Rising Tide.
Clank,
Boy,
clank,
this is-
clank, clank. All
boy,
right,
this is gonna
so
be a roller.
you
That's
folks
fair.
finish this thing. It gets buried under this rubble. This like whole building falls on it, and then like you see the building like drop another level as like the basement gives way. And yeah, you turn around and you see that your squad has managed to get a number of the people armed and like at least paying attention to them. But you hear like a cry from the walls, and you see some undead troops filtering in, and they look weird. They look like people wrapped with like gauze, almost as if they're like mummified or something. And they're stumbling in, and they're not walking 100% right. And they start sort of like dashing towards the group. What do you folks want to do?
We don't need any of this.
We don't.
So there's mummies coming.
Voice
they're
is
like
not in
weird.
charge, but Voice doesn't know that he's not in charge because Matali has fallen, and so he just yells, "Run!" And I mean,
Well,
obviously,
the problem is that they're coming in through the hole, and your exit is through the hole.
no, I don't think our exit is to the hole. I think our exit is through the streets now. Our exit through the hole was cut off, right?
No, okay, I didn't explain it correctly. Your exit is not through the hole that leads into the basements. Your
Hmm.
exit is through the hole that leads to the streets,
Oh, I see.
which is
And
the only hole in their defenses currently open, which is the way that they need to go out.
Got it.
Hold on. So we're in this room, and I'm assuming somebody around here.
It's
had,
not a
like,
room.
some
You're
sort of-
like let me just say that there's like some walls. Basically, somebody took like a city block and they just put up metal sheets between like the exits, and then use the actual like buildings there to create living quarters for the people inside. Right?
Mm.
Like they actually created like a small fortified area. And I was assuming that you guys were near a building, but like in the open, yelling orders because everyone's scrambling around.
Right. So this is a little.
that make sense,
block that has
Misha?
one opening.
Yeah. But does somebody around here have a fire source of some sort? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Like, does somebody have a torch or something that's lit on fire?
Right.
Yes.
We're gonna like grab a stick. We're gonna wrap it in some rags. We're gonna stick it in that fire. We're just gonna start torching the mummies, and we're gonna like keep poking at the mummies with fire sticks until they get the fuck out of the way, and then we're gonna run.
So we're gonna fight our way out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to point out one thing though. It may be faster just to like lob oil if you have oil in order to light them on fire.
I have cooking oil.
I have a lantern kit or lantern.
Yeah, lantern. It's been replaced by oil. So yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you can attempt to light them on fire. It's just a rec roll. It's area. It'll hurt.
I will do that. I have 2 in rec.
Holy shit! You're like the most useful rookie. All right, I mean,
No,
soldier.
she's a
I'm
soldier.
not a rookie anymore. I'm a soldier. I got promoted.
My bad. Let me salute. All right, soldier. Let's see
this
how this
is-
goes.
This is risky
Yeah,
standard.
yeah.
I fail again.
Cool.
Let's resist that though. I have two stress
Well,
I
I
can
mean,
burn.
but first you want to hear what happens. I mean,
Okay.
Well, you throw the fire. Oh, but like you have to get somewhat close, like not, this close, but like 10, 15 feet close, like just to lob it into the middle of the group of them and light them on fire. So you do that. You toss it, you light on fire. One of these things actually gets lit on fire. They don't seem to notice that they're really on fire. And then one of them falls over and hits the ground. And that's when it explodes. And acid and horrible bile go everywhere. So you're going to take level 2 harm and 2 corruption, and you're going to have horrific acid burns.
I'm going to say no because I have 1 use of bulwark left.
Oh,
Of
how do you
anchor left.
stop this?
Yeah. So I think at the very last minute,
Do you grab Metali's tower shield?
Yeah. I was thinking well, yeah, I was thinking exactly that. At the very last minute, I'm like, I've seen these, spin around.
Yeah, you have.
And I just dive on it and yeah, I'm sending bulwark as special armor against consequences to a squad mate I'm defending, and that's my last anchor.
All right, awesome. So right as you see your life flash before your eyes, there is all of a sudden this like anime like sliding as this figure in pitch black armor with blue marks like appears in front of you, and you hear a horrific hissing noise as that tower shield gets devoured. And do you yell orders?
Do I yell orders?
Yeah.
Oh yes, it's run. It's
Awesome.
and the thought is fighting them was actually bad. Let's just plow through.
Awesome.
Let's just
So
run and not care.
what action is that to clear a path for everyone?
I think it's maneuver. We're just running. It's not even like
Awesome.
I mean, unless it has to be skirmish to like fight them out of the way, I think we're just-
it's never has to be a thing. You just describe what you're doing, and you're like, I'm just going to use my strength to shove them out of the way and make sure that the shield that's burning up is between me and them,
Right.
and I'm going to try and knock them out of the way. Now, if you tell me like I'm going to try and talk my way out of the problem, I'm like, cool, zero effect, also desperate, I think, like barely, like. So like at this point, you're like, hey, I would like to maneuver and just like shield check these people out of the way, and if there's harm, it's coming to me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, cool. So they have scale.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of them, and they're also threat 2, which you are too.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is standard effect. You're doing the right type of action with the right type of monster.
Yeah.
So give me a maneuver roll to create a path for the civvies to get out.
Can I get Flavia to join me? Because Flavia, you have over the top. When you charge in the teeth of enemy, outnumbering and outguns you, you clear stress and get +1D to maneuver.
Yep.
You're the one made for this. And since I just rescued you, it seems like the two of us can run into this together.
Tag team.
Holy shit. All right, so Flavia, you clear stress.
Yep.
And you get +1D. So who's leading?
I can.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can be dicey. Yeah.
No, I can.
Okay.
So this is risky standard.
Risky standard.
Risky standard. Yeah.
All right. And I have 1 bonus die here. I got a 5.
You got a 5. All right.
That's not bad. You don't take a stress at the very least. You might be taking harm here in a second.
I got a 5 as well.
Awesome. So Sean,
Yeah.
you're going to take, well, actually, both of you are going to take level 2 harm and 2
Okay.
corruption. Unless you
All right.
resist or spend armor.
Yeah, we have armor.
I have a shield.
There you go. That's a spend.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna use the rest of my armor. I had heavy armor.
You have heavy armor? Yeah.
So it's gonna knock it down to 1. And I'm just gonna take burns.
Yep, that sounds good. And 2 corruption.
And I'll take 2 corruption.
Can I resist that corruption, please?
You can. Do you have a reliquary?
I don't.
Somebody has a reliquary. I forget who brought it.
Ignacio.
Oh no, I didn't take it.
Ignacio had it.
So corruption is always a resolve resist. Are you sure you want to do that?
Um.
Might trauma you.
Well, I have 2 in resolve, and then I have the devil's own luck. So I'm
So that's
rolling
3 dice.
3 dice.
How
Right.
much stress do you have open?
3.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
So-
safe.
Can
Yeah.
well, I guess my question is, can someone else help with a reliquary?
Not unless they're not usually.
They're not
no.
that. Right.
It,
'Cause
That's
it's
it,
not-
it depends on the fiction, but this doesn't seem like it. The
Well,
two
I
of you are
guess-
clearing a path.
yeah, I guess the question is like, can it be applied later? Right?
No,
Like, obviously
not
not in the
usually.
moment. Okay.
So the question that I have is like, my assumption is that corruption is real bad, and I don't want to take it if I am able to not.
2 corruption doesn't do anything to you yet. When you get enough corruption, you gain blight. Blight changes your character, and you can blight out the same way that you can trauma out.
Yeah.
2 corruption is doable. It means that somehow this is like touching your very humanity, your inner nature. These chemicals are not good for you. They're corrupted alchemy, right? Like you're being touched by like undeath.
Yeah.
But 2 corruption isn't too bad. Not even Alana would raise an eyebrow at your first 2 corruption. That said, I am genuinely telling you this as your friend and as a person that is a fan of your character, but I am a GM, and corruption is a thing that can eventually push your character out of play. It just you need a lot more than 2.
Yeah.
But so is stress. So you
Yes.
know, it's a thing.
Trauma will usually get you out of play faster. But with 3 dice and 3 stress, that's relatively safe. I have traumaed on that before and lost characters, but it's relatively safe.
Okay. I don't know what to do. Sean, you're
I would suggest-
corruption because you don't have the stress of.
I have 1 stress left. I only have 1 dot in resolve. So to me, the chance of me traumaing out for this is really high. And
Yeah,
plus, Voice already has blight. I figure he's just kind of going down a corrupted path anyway. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
not good to get more, but like,
Yeah.
what you gonna do?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try and resist it because
Okay.
that's what feels right to me.
Question to us: if she resists, does she resist all of it, or is it just 1?
It would reduce it to 1.
Okay.
If you have a reliquary, it would actually give you +1d and immediately eliminate 1 corruption, but you don't.
I don't.
This is what they're for.
See,
Nice.
this is where I roll a 6.
There you go.
So it costs you 0 stress, and you only gain 1 corruption.
Cool.
Awesome.
I mean, this is so
Uh,
fitting, right? We're smashing our way out and getting
Right.
burned.
So yeah, so I think we'll just we'll have like I'm gonna have a cinematic moment where like, you know, the people are running out onto the streets and everything, and like you see them like dashing ahead, right? Like you folks actually see some of those like black shapes appear and like start pouncing towards you, but you actually see a couple of the hunters on the walls like putting some shots in them, like getting their heads down. And the only thing that I have to ask is, if you folks leave this like theater of war, how are you like keeping the undead from harassing you all the way back to the Legion? Like you're done with this particular scene, but if you assume that you folks are retreating, right? Like, and the undead know where you are, like, how do you dissuade them from following? Do you convince some of the people to stay behind and like create a perimeter to like harass them so that they can't like bypass them? Do you folks like stand and fight? Like, do you try and scout out a route? Like,
I
what's
think
the
this is like a flashback to our earlier like booby traps of like when we go through one wall, it collapses behind us,
oh nice.
you know, and
Right.
because that's like our thing, right? That's been our thing. and, like,
Awesome.
may
So
have to climb over it.
Vitali, you're awake because this is a new scene now.
All right.
Did you select your trauma condition? That's something to think about. You don't have to do it right this second.
Okay. All right.
And then do we want to do like another rec roll as like, you know, you folks are escaping through a booby trap section of wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, you said it was a cinematic moment, so I was sort of describing what I thought was cool in the moment. I still think rec is a good idea, but if folks are like, I don't want to rec, then
No, actually, I think that's fine. I think you answered my question. Is we set up a bunch of booby traps and we go through the booby trapped area.
Right.
And that's going to slow them down and hurt them enough that they're going to have to pick up our trail later. And we're just going to keep death marching until, you know, we get back to the Legion. is roughly what I hear.
I think so.
Cool.
Correct. I agree.
So I think there's this scene where it's like just breaking dawn and these like haunted looking people are coming into camp where the Legion is. You brought a bunch of civilians, which is going to make the quartermaster so happy. It's, you know, like everyone's coming in, you've lost one person. It's been brutal. You've been marching all night. And sure enough, as soon as you step in, Zora plants a spear right next to Matali.
Nice.
I was gonna say, Strash, will you move Indigo Striking Iron to the graveyard, please?
I will. All right. Wow, that was a brutal mission.
Yeah, it was.
Whew.
I told you guys. I fucking told
The dice
you.
were not with you.
I
It
said
was-
we got Crimson Rising Tide. We should GTFO, but no.
We were trying.
No,
true.
we were doing exactly.
No, you guys were like, let's save some extra people.
Well, you do
Yeah.
get an additional five rookies because of it.
Yeah, but you lost one.
It's
Right,
true.
we lost.
It's true.
You don't gain morale for gaining rookies. You
That
just
is
lose
also
it
true.
for
Yeah,
losing
it's
it.
for +5 morale for getting 5 rookies.
That's not how it works, though.
I know.
Not how any of this works.
Indigo was an owl, right?
Oh,
Yes.
and we get one intel too, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think that was what was on the. I believe that was. Hey, we can find out by entering the
Flash mission
mission.
or bang mission.
Yeah, bang mission.
Yeah, it is +1 intel. Yeah,
Nice.
and if we hadn't done the mission, we would have lost somebody. So you know, it's a net.
It's a net positive. It is.
Sure.
I feel you, Jen. I really
The-
do.
This is the first Ravens mission where they don't come back smiling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is the first. I think this is the first mission we've lost somebody on a primary mission.
yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah, we
This
haven't
will
lost.
happen more as time goes because the costs of stress and wounds eventually add up. That said, it's XP time.
Should we do secondary mission or do we do XP?
No, we do XP first.
You do XP first.
Awesome.
All right.
Marshall, who's going first?
Jen.
Sure. Cool. I already marked XP for the desperate action that I rolled.
You're doing
I
Flavia right now, right?
I'm doing Flavia, yes. Because Indigo is dead.
I know. I know. Yes,
Yeah.
because Indigo is dead. Jen, tell me how you really feel.
Just put it out there.
I helped my squad through courage or determination.
I feel like you
definitely
did.
feel like I did that.
Yes.
I brought into play my heritage or traumas. What's my heritage?
You are all right.
All right.
All right. I don't actually feel like I did that.
Well, what are your heritage traits?
Noble and connected.
I can see connected.
Well, you did command some people.
Yeah.
I did command some people. All right, I'll give you that. Cool. So that's 3. And then per highest level of threat of opponent faced.
You folks didn't see her, but there was a threat forward that was manipulating things. That's why you were seeing strange, sort of like overpowered undead on the fields and stuff. That was her effect on the battlefield, as it were.
Okay.
The particular lieutenant that you were fighting is a woman that Crimson will tell you goes by the name Victoria. She is Victoria Carhowell. So
Fun. Awesome. Who's next, Marshall?
Jay.
Matali. I survived the mission.
Yay.
I helped my squad through might or fortitude.
Oh yeah. you
fuck
did.
yeah, you did.
Yes. I did play into my stoic heritage.
Oh yeah. A lot.
I've
Pause.
earned some trauma.
So earning a trauma is struggling with trauma, which means that you get an extra XP now whenever that happens.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So like you get an extra XP on top of everything else. That's one of the only ways to earn 2 XP in that category. Go on.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
And then per highest threat of opponent faced.
Which would be 4.
All right.
All right,
2,
Sean.
4.
So then you got 8.
Right.
Oh, 8 and then some. All right. I think I'm going to be very similar. I survived the mission. I helped my squad through might or fortitude. Yes, I did. I brought into play my heritage. I played up Voice
100.
Yachty a lot, and also his traits came into play several times. You per highest threat is 4 more, so I'm at 7 XPs, and actually I think with Voice I'm for once not going to put something in. I already had 2 in prowess, so I'm going to put 4 more in prowess. So I only have 3 here. I'm going to fill up my prowess and take another dot maneuver, so we can run through stuff more better.
Where are you putting the extra XP?
I put 4 into prowess, which because I had 2 desperate rolls that got that up to 6. So I put maneuver, and then I have 3 in playbook.
Cool. I'm excited to see what you take as your next power, because you have what?
Yeah, I know it's real tempting to take playbook powers, but I was like, you know what, I can get it out.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Like putting 3 XP there means that next time you only need like 5, which is pretty likely to happen on any mission.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But yeah, if you pick up 5 more, you're guaranteed to like. Yeah, I'm curious what the build for Voice Karyevich is going to be, because you took a warg, right? Like it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Neat. So Jay is done. Jay, don't forget that you need to pick a trauma condition.
Wait, we need to do our marshal too.
Yes, please continue.
So survive the mission. Yay! Help my squad by staying away and surviving despite odds. Brought into play my heritage or traumas. We were indeed vengeful and squashed stuff. And for highest threat of opponent face. So, yep.
Awesome.
Point in prowess somewhere. Bump up, shoot. Hey, cool.
Nice. All right.
Secondary mission time.
It's gonna be a better roll this time.
All right, our secondary mission is a assault, correct?
Who is going on it?
We are sending the.
I think you're sending the medic, right?
Yeah, the medic.
Zayanova asked very sternly to go.
And the officer.
And also Zayanova gives you +1D. So she's worth it for that too.
And we are sending them with the Star Vipers. Okay, so Legion Loyalty, everybody has sworn. Commander, did you spend an intel?
I will. I haven't. Can I?
Yeah, you have one. You can spend it now, or you can save it for the next location. It's up to you.
Let's talk about that, Commander. We're gonna have, I think, 3 dice. I think. Okay.
Right.
So.
4?
If you spend intel, we'll have 4.
No, right. You'll have 4 regardless. The Scorpions will grant you +1D because they are perfectly suited to dealing with one of the key opponents on the mission.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. I'm with you.
So I think you can hold off on intel because we'll have.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Is everybody a specialist or soldier? I think that's a no. Yeah. That's.
Wait, who are the Scorpions?
It's a weapon.
The giant.
The Scorpion. Gotcha.
It's the thing the quartermaster made for killing the serpent that we're going to fight.
Gotcha. I thought,
literally, the
do we have a new squad? Like what?
No, the quartermaster's like, Strach, I would like to make the perfect weapon for killing serpents. I will do an entire long-term project. Okay, is it made? Cool. I assign it to the mission, and the only way to reflect that is a +1D to the engagement roll.
Yeah. All right. Nobody distrusts or fears. We have the required specialist. Quartermaster, are you sitting black shot?
Yes.
Is anybody starting wounded?
I don't think so.
No.
All right. So that was 1, 2, and then 3 for Zayanova.
Right, and then 4 for the Scorpion.
4 for the Scorpion.
4 for the Scorpion. All right. Cross my fingers.
Hold my breath.
Don't hold your breath. You might pass out.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck
No,
me.
a 4 is fine.
No, it's not.
It gives you a choice. You can
Fuck
succeed
no.
at the mission and lose 2 people, or you can fail the mission and they all come back home just fine, but you gain all the mission penalties.
Yeah, hold on. I look at the mission penalties. So.
Well, here's the sad thing is we need that morale so badly. And it's 3 morale to win, but we lose 2 people, but that's still a net gain of morale.
But it's not though because Indigo died.
Well, Indigo dies no matter what.
No, I know, but we lose 1 morale for Indigo.
Oh yeah, no, we're netting 0, but we'll lose 1 morale if we don't succeed at this mission.
Yeah.
So we're still in medium morale because Indigo died. Damn it. Yeah.
It was close.
Yeah.
4 dice is a lot.
Yeah, I know. But it's Marshall's call.
I will point out that also if you succeed at this mission, you will have killed an Infamous, which means that Blighter will no longer be able to deploy Serpents.
Oh, damn. That's good.
But it also means we will only have 2 full squads.
Well, we're getting
No, we're getting 10 more people.
5.
And are we getting 5?
We're getting 10. Because
We're getting
next
10.
campaign phase, I have 1 tick away from getting 5 more. And there's nothing between now and next campaign phase to mess that up.
Correct.
So next campaign phase, I say 1 more long-term action tick on that, and we are going to get 10 more.
That is correct.
Killing me.
Literally. I mean,
Well, also, I'll say this. We lose 2 more people. I tell another tale. And the effects that I can choose are remove 1 pressure, but we can't advance. Next mission, all specialists gain plus 1d to maneuver rolls. Or next mission, all specialists gain plus 1d to wreck rolls.
depending on the missions, one of those 2 could be real good.
Yeah.
One of those latter 2. I don't think we definitely want to advance. We don't want to stick around the long road.
Yeah.
It's a bad
Yeah,
place.
Long Road is brutal.
But the other 2 could be good. Maneuver sounds particularly appropriate. Hustling,
Yeah.
moving.
That leaves pretty much
For
all of
sure.
our specialists harmed. We'll have 2 with 2s and 2 with 3s.
Yep. But all the better reason to do an R&R action.
If you're promising me we're gonna do a friggin' R&R, fine.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to do an R&R, but not a Liberty, which means we're not going to get our morale up again, which means we're not going to be able to.
Do you have any supply left, Sean?
I have 1. I could do both. But
You
then
should do both.
But then that's it. Yeah, I could do both.
Fine. That's what we're doing.
Who dies?
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, now you got to give me names.
Do you feel this?
I recommend not making it Landgrave.
Yeah, we'll take the bottom 2. So Cheruju, Dravos, and Yala Rally.
I'm putting in where they
Wait,
came
what?
Bottom 2 in the Star Vipers. Charu. Cheru.
Cheru, yeah. Cheru. And Jala.
Jala, yeah.
Killing me. Killing me.
All right, so morale drops down to 5 again.
All right, and what kind of harm do Zayanova and
Level 2 harm.
What is it though? What?
I think it's just I think Zayanova takes like snake bite.
Yeah, that sounds good.
that
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
And I think the medic
Oh.
is just gonna take it's probably just like cuts and bruises. Like
Okay.
just she took the damage healing people on the battlefield. She was like stitching some people up and stuff and like took some fire. She's wounded, like it's hurting her, but oh no, you know what it is? She redamaged her shoulder.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh. All right. And the doctor abilities can't be used on secondary missions. right?
Correct.
They're not. All right. So Zionova is going to get 2 XP. I'm going to put 1 in playbook, which will get her up to full. And she's going to take the scout ability ready for anything. So next time she'll take 1 less harm on secondary missions. And I'm going to put 1 XP in prowess.
All right.
So we get 2 XP for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 XP.
The medic gets 2 XP to put wherever. All specialists in secondary missions just get 2 XP. You take some harm, but you at least
Yeah.
get some XP.
All right, Rhea now has 1 dot in Scout.
Woo!
Nice.
That seems.
Well, we always need it, right? Like everybody has to scout.
Well, I know she has research and she has doctor, which means that her insight resist is particularly strong.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
gets 1 dot in rig. She's gonna have some stellar insight resists.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's the end of the missions. Yeah, that's what we'll pick up next time.
I have another tale to tell.
Oh, you
Yes,
do?
Yeah.
All right.
And just so that we're let's do mission rewards and penalties so that
Yes.
we
Let's
can
not
sort
forget that.
everything.
Yeah.
So bookkeeping means that like usually what happens is you apply the penalties first. So you do lose 3 morale. You're currently at 7 morale. Is that correct, Misha?
I believe.
Oh, right.
so. Yes, we were at 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 7 morale, you're going to lose 3 morale, which would take you to 4, but then you're going to gain 3 morale, which is going to put you right back at 7, so you don't have to adjust
Okay,
anything,
so
I think.
it's like, wait, I don't have
Right?
Yes.
And then Jay already got the intel for the 1 mission, is that correct?
That is correct.
So we're at 2 intel, right?
Right, we're at 2.
And we're going to get 5 rookies from the mission rewards.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
So
you're gonna have to make those, Josh.
I will do that. Now I'm also going to change actually, Jay, the empty time clock. If you could put 1 tick on it, one of the missions, which is the render mission, is going to apply a 1-time penalty. That's the one you didn't do, so you will automatically fail it. And I will make you some rookies.
All right, give me 2 stags and 3 lions, please.
Sure. Let me just.
Nice.
But is Graf the captain of the Silver Stag?
Yeah, exactly. That's the important question here.
We shall see.
All right.
So you said 3 lions?
Basically fill up lions and stags.
Got it.
Poor Lucretia, the single ghost owl.
I know.
She's probably going to get reassigned.
Yeah.
Unless the marshal decides to let her sit by the banner alone.
Well, we're gonna get
we're
5
getting
more.
5 more. So
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'll
so
add
we
some
could
ghost
fill
owls.
up the ghost owls and
And
get
then
the
add
star
the-
vipers to be 1 away, and then
Yeah.
and then we'd be, yeah, we're gonna have to do that actually because
Yeah.
it's either, or we could fill up the star vipers and have the ghost owls be 1 away, but we're basically just gonna be 1 shy, just Indigo shy of having a
Mhm.
complete legion.
1 indigo short of a full complement.
Mhm.
Heart.
I told you guys.
Oh,
I told you.
buggeries.
Well, Jen, think about. I ask you this: do you think it was worth it for Indigo to trade Indigo for having the intel and the troops that we got? We could have gotten Crimson, but we wouldn't have gotten the rest of that, presumably.
Well, I feel like we still would have gotten the intel. We just wouldn't have gotten the 5 troops.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
you're literally asking me whether 1 rookie is worth 5 rookies. Is
Yeah,
what you're asking
and
me,
I-
Sean.
That is what I'm asking you, and
I
there's no
mean,
right answer to that question.
There's a trolley problem.
I was gonna say, I feel like
It's
I
a
would
trap.
say no, except she killed the undead Neen.
Yeah,
Like, that's a big deal.
It's kind of awesome.
Not having that undead walking around is a big deal.
but you told us.
Hey, look, you can always say I told you so.
All right,
And I will is the thing.
Always a valid thing to say.
over and over.
So
Are
many
we?
times.
I
Are we
think we're
good?
gonna call it here. I think we'll pick up next time with Tales and back in camp scenes and free play. And we'll do the costume feud and time and pressure stuff at the start. So
Yeah, basically as we have been today. All right, folks. Thanks for staying late with us. This was a brutal mission. This is what happens when the dice do not go in our favor. People die, stuff gets ugly, people get hurt, but the Legion carries on. And I'm here ready to report for duty. I'm Sean Nittner. You see him pronouns. You find me everywhere at Sean Nittner on Twitter. Very excited right now about the Big Bad Con Kickstarter, which is running along and doing fantastically. We've brought a ton of stretch goal guests out, and we're going to bring a lot more if we hit those goals, which I think we will. It should be good. I'm going to be at KublaCon this weekend, so if anybody's in the area, feel free to catch me there. We're running some games. How about you, Misha?
Hi, Misha B. Big G Gameworks on Twitter. I will be at Balticon this weekend. I had to think what was the name of it. Doing a couple of panels. So yeah, if you're in Baltimore, swing by, say hi. If not, how about you, Strauss?
hey, I'm Strash. You can find me at Strashay on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns. And I will actually not be going to a con this weekend, but I will be playing board games. So if you like board games in my hometown, swing by. I don't know. I'm also going to be fixing some sheets and prepping all the Band of Blades stuff for release. I'm also doing a little bit of work on Coney Catchers, which is another stretch goal for Blades in the Dark. So I know people are excited about that. That's by Jason Morningstar. And I think the last thing that I'm super excited about is these sweet Scum and Villainy shirts.
Oh, you got yours.
I got one today. It is super sweet. All right. So I think that's it for me. What about you, Jen?
Jen Martin. I use she, her pronouns. Jen Martin 80 on Twitter. I'm not going to a con this weekend, but I am taking my family to see Cirque du Soleil, and I'm very excited about that. It should be very fun.
That's dope.
Yeah. So yeah. Is Jay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm Jay. I'm MadJ0 on Twitter or madj0.com. I am going to Big Bad Con as a stretch goal, so I'm looking for, but not this weekend. I'll be,
Jay,
We got a couple of months. Don't
Jay,
don't
you're freaking me out. You're scaring me right now.
don't do that.
I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about it too.
No, it's a regular Memorial Day weekend for me. No con, but I'll be home, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, folks, we will be back next Thursday. I'll put it up. We'll put up the normal tweet and whatnot, but we'll be back next Thursday night, same time, 6 p.m. PST, and we will find out our next mission. We'll carry on, and it will be glorious or tragic or probably both. So
Depends on whether you listen to me.
good night, all.